So today we're going to talk about, is social media right for your business? And our presenter is my friend and colleague, Lisa Taylor Powers from The Hive Marketing. Lisa is a marketing consultant who creates holistic, tailored marketing strategies for entrepreneurs who want to grow their business. She works with clients in industries such as financial management, tech, biotech, and consumer product goods. Her clients include Levi's, Wealth Plus, AO Logistics, and Applaud Medical. She's known for developing fresh, creative solutions to routine problems and guiding her clients in building buzz for their brand. So let's give it up.
Thank you all for being here. Thank you, Carolyn, for that great introduction. So my name is Lisa Taylor Powers. I just went through a rebranding of my own business. I am now The Hive Marketing. You may have seen me as the LT Co. Those were my initials. I decided to evolve a bit, so it's The Hive Marketing now. So I thought I would start with an agenda of what we're going to cover today so you know what you've gotten yourself into. I'll give you an introduction to myself. We're going to talk about why social media is important, how, some general guidelines, the who, knowing your audience, what, the best use of each platform, when, how much to post, and then we'll have QA at the end. I've allotted about 10 minutes, so all in just under an hour. So about me, I've spent 10 years in marketing. I began with the physical side of marketing, so events, production, logistics, on the ground, you know, every little detail. I have grown myself and my own business over the past 4 years while I was working full-time. I took some freelance jobs and it allowed me to really develop myself as a business owner and try new things. So I moved into strategy and really taking a holistic view, as Carolyn mentioned, of a business, looking at the right opportunities that make sense for an entrepreneur, considering their time, their budget, and their goals. A fun fact about me, I remember the beginnings of Facebook. In fact, I was around before Facebook existed, and I was in marketing before Facebook existed. So believe it or not, there was a time when Facebook was not a channel. So let's start with why. Why is this even important? First of all, how many of you currently are on social media for your business or personally? Great, that's a good percentage, wonderful. So as a business owner, a big reason why is to create traffic to your website. It's a channel. It's one of many channels that you can use. And here are some examples of my current clients. Union Financial Partners experienced a 49% increase in website traffic when they post to social media. Below that, they're a wealth management firm. Steel Core Builders, a construction company, experienced a 33% increase in website traffic. So social media alone accounted for, in this chart here, 21 pieces of traffic that month to Steel Core Builders. So we see that it's providing you know, return on investment. So social media is one of many channels that you can use. As you can see, all of those circles are different channels in 2016 to market yourself and your business. There's a lot. You know, search engine marketing, SEO, and content are kind of the baseline things that we all like to do. You have the online advertising near the bottom. On the right side, you have PR, wholesale, direct sales if those applies. You even have the offline things like print, radio, TV ads. And then the top left is the social commerce. So the Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Pinterest, blog. These are all channels you can choose whether or not you want to use. So I like to apply a filter to determine if social media is right for your business. Is social media the right channel for me? First and foremost, what are your company goals? What are you trying to achieve? Are you a brand new business? Are you just getting your name out there for the first time? Perhaps social media is the right channel to gain a widespread audience, or maybe even a targeted audience by using things like Facebook. Are your goals lead generation? As we saw earlier, you know, social media can drive traffic to your website, which can produce, you know, sales on an e-commerce site or just potential leads. The next filter is your competitors. What are they doing out in the world? If they're not doing it, then why should you be doing it? Maybe if they aren't doing it, that's an opportunity. So these are two filters you can apply as you start to think about if this makes sense. finally, and maybe the most important, is your budget. So this does take time and energy. You have to create content, whether that's written content like blogs or photographic content. Somebody has to do that. Is it you? Is it someone you're hiring? These are all considerations when you're getting on these channels, and your budget is a big piece. So next, I'm going to jump into some very general guidelines. I wanted to provide you some information that you could take away today and have the potential of going on social media, creating a profile, and start posting. So these are very general guidelines to give you that information. So I segmented by types of industries. I call the visual industries people that are in retail, food and restaurants, real estate, art, consumer goods, construction. Industries that if you took a photo of what you do, it would be interesting to the world. In this example, I have Sightglass Coffee. They're a San Francisco roastery, and they own many cafes, and they always have the most stunning imagery. I'm compelled to drink coffee every time I see it. So in this post on Twitter, they talk about their brewing method. It's beautiful. Again, something that's interesting visually. Another guideline in terms of the potential for social media is a knowledge-based industry, which I'm assuming a lot of you would fall under. These are the business service providers, the tech, software, nonprofit, education, healthcare, people that have knowledge to share and can put it out there to the world. You would be great on something like LinkedIn. This is Chris Anderson, who's the TED Curator's post, talking about why public speaking matters more now than ever. He's got great things to say. He's sharing it on LinkedIn. Finally, if you don't fall into those two types of industries, you might be in what's called a regulated industry. Banking, finance, legal, sometimes some healthcare. And there is a place for you in social media. Again, it's about having that knowledge, sharing it with the world, but doing it in a way that complies with regulations and attracts your target audience. So, which platforms are right for you? How many people can identify with that photo? I can too sometimes. There's so many platforms. It feels like the landscape is changing every day. So I'm going to break down for you kind of the most well-known and widely used platforms that would make sense for an entrepreneur or small business owner. But first, we have to know who we're targeting. This is the most important part. So knowing your target audience. So not only knowing the demographic information, such as age, gender, location, but psychographic information. What are the questions going through their mind? What are their problems every day? How do they shop? How do they research? What questions do they ask? Knowing these things will really lay the groundwork for a social media plan and really a whole marketing plan. So knowing this is step number one. So I'm going to circle back to the guidelines I mentioned earlier and the platforms that would make sense for these types of industries. So as a general guideline, Sightglass might use Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, and Pinterest because it's, as a company, they want to attract people with their stunning visual photography. So these are the places where that would make the most sense. In the TED Curator example, Facebook, Twitter, and LinkedIn are great for sharing knowledge and an accompanying photo. So this knowledge-based industry might use those three platforms. And finally, the regulated industries can use Twitter and LinkedIn and still comply with regulations. So now I'm going to dive even deeper into each platform to give you a better sense of what makes the most sense. And I have a handout for you. It's a 3-page full-color handout. So if you guys will take one and pass it on. So this handout is very detailed. It has the top 5 platforms that I'm recommending and the demographics that actually are on each platform. So you can use this in terms of deciding which platforms to put your business on. So as they come out, you can follow along with me here. So, this will also, as I mentioned earlier, help you develop a game plan. So I think a reason why a lot of us get overwhelmed is there's plenty of social networks you can be on, but we don't understand which ones apply to us. So knowing whom is on those networks is step one, knowing your target is step two, and then matching those up will hopefully simplify that process for you, and that will create your game plan. So the first and probably most well-known social network is Facebook. The way to read this handout is 66% of men in the United States over the age of 18 use Facebook. 77% of women, adults in the US, use Facebook. Even further, we can talk about their, how much money they make, their education level, and that chart breaks it down for you so you understand the people that are there. So in this example here, I searched this weekend online for local businesses and how they were using social media. So Super Duper was a great example of announcing something new. They're announcing a new location, and with that, they're giving away free mini breakfasts. So it's a great brand awareness tool. It increases local sales so they can target people in that local area that see that message. And it's a great photo. Vogue Cleaners does something similar. They give little tips and tricks on their Facebook page about how to save energy when doing your laundry. So it's a soft sell, but it makes you really appreciate Vogue Cleaners, and maybe next time you have to go to the dry cleaning, you'll go there. So again, Facebook is great for increasing local sales, brand awareness, finding leads, even customer service. This next example is another customer service example with Twitter. So Twitter is, how many people use Twitter right now? Okay, great. So it's a microblogging site is how it started. 140 characters is what you're limited to in the post, and you have a feed. You follow people. So when you join Twitter, I'm going to follow everyone on that side of the room, and anytime they post something, it will appear in my feed and I will see it. So this example, I'm following Soul Food here locally. They posted a picture on the left. It says, "Happy Saturday, pop in for breakfast." And someone named Fish said, "I'm on my way down right now." So he's having a dialogue with them. The next day, Fish says, "Soul Food, too bad I was too early. You guys need to open earlier, like at 7 a.m. on Saturday, so I can get some yum before work." Soul Food replies back to him and says, "Our apologies, the chef needed their beauty sleep before coming in. Will we see you after work?" So they took a situation that could have been detrimental, really. This person was excited to go there, he went too early. He had an immediate response on Twitter. They were great and replied right back and made light of this situation, and now they have this great fan. So Twitter is great for customer service because it's so immediate, notifications, brand awareness, and engagement. You're probably thinking, do I need to be on it all the time? Because if someone's going to message me on Twitter, that means I need to be available. You can set up notifications on your phone or on your computer that a message will pop up or an email will come in if someone, replies to you in that way. So next, I will talk about Instagram. It's the fastest growing social network. It's similar to Twitter in that you provide, you follow people or brands or businesses, and they appear in your feed. And the feed is all about visuals and photography. And the example I'm using here is Equator Coffees. They're fantastic at posting beautiful photos that, again, entice you, excite you, show a human element. Someone's pouring latte art. That's really exciting and beautiful. The other thing about Instagram, and really all of these social networks, is you can include what's called a hashtag, and I'll dive into that later in the presentation. But it's a way of filtering a specific topic, or hopping on board to another existing topic, like Go Warriors. I'm going to take a picture and be a part of that movement now by using that hashtag. So Instagram, again, is a great tool for community building on a micro level, on a macro